Hi everyone, it's Donnie, and you have joined me today to do a framing job. And this is a disclaimer right at first. I am not a professional framer, and I am doing this just for demonstration purposes only. If I am not exact with my measurement, that is okay by me. I'm not going to be putting this in a gallery. I'm not going to be giving this to anyone. This is just for my own personal use in my own home. The reason I'm saying this is because I had somebody leave a comment about it was such a shame because I didn't take the time to measure properly and it was uneven on the owl that I did. And I didn't care if it was uneven. I didn't care if it wasn't perfect. It was just going on my wall in my craft room. Nobody was going to see it, but people that don't judge me for whether I have it perfect or not. And I don't care. I don't care if it's perfect. If I were going to give this to somebody, then yeah, I would take more time and be more meticulous in the measurements. But this is just a guide to show you another option as to how to frame a diamond painting. So take it as it is. If you want to be meticulous and be perfect with your measurements, I'm going to try the best I can to be as perfect as I can, but I'm not perfect. I'm human. So I'm sure most of you will understand, and I hope somebody will get inspiration to frame their artwork, their diamond painting, from what I'm showing you today. I'm not the best at picking colors either, so keep that in mind. Okay, for this framing, what you'll need is some kind of a marking pen, and I'm just using, oh, this isn't the one I thought it was, but a Sharpie, a fine line Sharpie, a thick line Sharpie, whatever you want. And I've got my X-Acto knife. I'm not sure if I'll need it, but I also have my scissors. Ooh, and I have the box cutter, big heavy duty one. Some duct tape, one or two colors of your choice as to something that goes with your painting, or something off the wall. It's your choice, it's your painting, it's what you want to do with it. Optional is some kind of glue, crafting glue. Even the Tombow Aqua glue would probably work. I'm going to use this just because I want to use it up. So I'm using this before I use my Tombow, because right now I'm using my Tombow glue to seal these gorgeous paintings, and I don't want to use it for anything else until I get my big batch of it. You're also going to need a measuring tape if you want to be perfect. And you're also going to want some kind of a cutting board underneath to protect your table, or if you don't care, you don't need to worry about that. And you're also going to need a foam board. Yeah, all you see is white because it's very large. I got this foam board at the Dollar Tree, so this cost $1. And I got duct tape. I'm not sure where I got this one because it's a different brand. I may have gotten it at Joann's. Not sure. But if I did, I know I got something at Joann's and I got it for 50% off with a coupon. So it was like $2.50. And this one was either from Hobby Lobby, Joann's, or Walmart. More likely Walmart or Michael's. And if it was any place other than Walmart, I did use a coupon. So I don't think it's worth $5 for duct tape, personally. So I do not pay full price for duct tape, ever. Of course, unless it's at Walmart, because they're reduced price anyway, but they don't have as many choices as some of the hobby stores. All right, let's get started. I already trimmed these edges all the way out to where you see the blue line, because that is where it's supposed to be a perfect rectangle, whatever. So I didn't get it perfectly all the blue area off, but as close as possible. Just going to do this last one so I can show you what I meant. A lot of the times they do not cut these exactly on the line. So if you want the shape to be exact, which in this case I really don't think it's going to matter because these areas are going to be covered up, but I'm just going to trim it off to give me a little better idea of measurements. All right. The next thing is I'm going to do the 2 layers, 2 different duct tapes. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the teal, and then I'm going to do the border is a teal, and then the cosmic. Hoping it makes it look good. So we're going to start with the teal, and I can tell you now I'm probably going to make some mistakes, and I'm probably going to get frustrated, and just bear with me. I'll try and cut out the stuff that doesn't matter. But I don't have any fingernails hardly. They start growing long and then they start breaking. I have very thin nails. Alright, so people that don't watch my channel normally and just coming to see a framing video, I know you don't care about these things, but I do talk randomly while I'm doing my work. Okay. So this, I don't really need to measure this, okay? I don't even know if I'm going to need to do any measuring. I don't know. But I'm going to just start. Now you can either, I'll start down here on the bottom. I'm just lining it up with the bottom of the diamond painting. You don't need to do 2 layers. This is just what I'm choosing to do. And when you do the first layer, you can either do it the full length or the full width of the duct tape, and then put the second layer on top of it, or you could cut your duct tape to the width that you want it to be, and then start the second one against it. I'm not going to do that because there's going to be a gap, and I don't want a gap to show. But if you've got more precision than I do, go for it. Okay. So I'm just doing this one piece right now because we really need to be measuring the Alright, there's that. I may have started this too soon because I'm thinking. I tried to plan this out the best I could before I started, but I'm talking months it's taken me to get the courage to make this video, because I have the idea in my mind. I see it in my mind, but executing it is a different story. So you might want to do this step first. Whether you want to do the duct tape first or this next step first is up to you. But you need to be able to have a piece of the styrofoam. Oh, it just went flying across the room. I'll be right back. Yeah, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Now, I'm not going to use, obviously, these corners here, because this has been, stuck behind boxes and just waiting for me to get to it. So it is up to you how much of this you want. You can make it the same size as your painting, or you can make it a little bit bigger. And if that's the case, then you're going to want to measure. But if I'm going to do it the exact same size as this, I'm going to need to make some markings and just cut it. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you use this edge, because it's not going to be seen. You're going to have, something over it to keep it covered. But see, I don't want this to be any bigger than this size, the size of the diamond painting that I've cut here. So what I'm going to do And like I said, because it is just for demonstration purposes, and I'm going to try and be as frugal as possible, I'm going to go all the way to the corner. And this is not an even cut on this diamond painting, but it will be even by the time we are done, because I'm going to use the edge like a ruler. And mark it on the edge that I've cut. Now, if I wanted to be exact, I would have just measured the front. I would have measured the front of the canvas on each edge, made sure that each side was the exact same measurement, and I would have trimmed it from there, and then done this portion. Please do not judge me on not being perfect. I'm just trying to help. And this is just one of many different ways that you can frame a diamond painting. So if you don't like this option, don't use it. But if you think that maybe you could use it someday in the future, I'm glad I could help. Okay, so I'm going to set that to the side. I'm going to use this. I'm pretty sure this is a sharp blade because I changed it over not too long ago. And I'm going to, as best I can, try and cut this perfectly straight, right on the line. And that, having that pad underneath makes it so I don't have to worry about pressing too hard, because I know it will not cut anything it's not supposed to. I'm going to cut this all the way down just because I don't want to have a partial piece of foam in my hanging around my craft room. Okay, gotta pick up this thing here. So I'm just going to cut the rest of the way down. And see, it cut it all the way through. I didn't have to worry about bending it or anything. So now I will get this piece out of the way, and I have enough. This is almost half of this thing. So I still have 50 cents worth of foam board. I could do, and I could probably do a smaller one on, I mean, you could get so many out of just one of these. I have another one in the closet too. So let's cut on this line now. And can't see the line. There we go. I'm sure a rotary cutter would work as well. There we go. See, I'm pretty sure I cut straight. Actually, I could have used the guides on here, but let's see. I think my lines weren't straight because, well, nope. I think I need to, well, I don't know. I think it's close enough. I'll just cut this off anyway because that's my demonstration, is cutting on the line. It's not perfect. Okay, so let me get this out from underneath the tripod. I close my blade every single time I'm not using it. All right, so now this fits on here perfectly. So what I'm going to do, I'm I'm going to take my glue, and it's been a while since I've used this one. Let's get it. There we go. And I'm just going to spread this glue around. All right. Since the diamond painting goes all the way, because I left the border on it and it goes all the way up to the edge, it doesn't matter. You don't need to leave it. I don't need to leave an edge on here because the entire thing will be glued. And you don't have to do this part with the glue. It's just an extra precaution to make sure your diamond painting will stay on the foam board for the lifetime that you want it to last. You don't want to rely on just the duct tape. I mean, you could. The one I did of Teslin's little cupcake, I did not glue that one. That one was on a canvas, and it was just a tiny one. So it didn't necessarily need to be glued because there wasn't much to it. But on the larger ones, you might want to glue it. I mean, even regular, even whatever glue you have, Elmer's glue, you know, school glue, white glue, you know, whatever glue you have laying around. I have several different types of glue here, just because I've bought different ones. I mean, even maybe a spray adhesive. I mean, I got some at the Dollar Tree, and I tried using it just as an experiment to see if it would be a nice tacky type thing for diamond painting an area that had lost its stick, and that didn't work so well. But it might work for this. I don't know. Just experiment on a piece you really don't care about. So there we go. You don't need to worry about the glue drying. I mean, it's, like I said, just an extra precaution, but you do want to make sure it's completely flat on here, so that, and you know, rub it so that the glue will distribute from underneath. Unless you use one of those things where you spread it perfectly, then you don't, you know, need to worry about distributing it, but you still need to make sure it's pressed down really good. Okay, so I do have this first piece of tape on here, so I'm going to go ahead and bring it around the back side, since we now have it where we want it. Okay. And you can either, like I did with the cupcake, you can either overlap these edges, or you can do your next piece where it just goes from here up to this part right here. So it's up to you what you want to do. I'm not going to overlap. I'm going to just do a piece here because I am going to have 2 layers of tape, so I don't want it getting too thick. So let's get this next piece. I'll do the top. And unlike my last video, I am not folding this one under because it is the bottom layer of tape. And there will be another layer on top of this. So, like I said, I don't want to get too much tape built up. And I don't want too thick of it. I don't want it to be too thick. So I'm just trying to get this as perfect. See, the color in the camera makes this look a lot bluer than, I mean, this is a dark teal. And I kind of thought it would bring out these blues in here. Cause when I went to the store to get some duct tape for this, I was thinking I needed a purple. I probably would have liked more of this light purple. And I got here and I'm getting ready for this and I realized I already had purple duct tape. It would have been nice if I had some white. I didn't realize I don't have any white duct tape. And that's going to be a pretty popular one with framing, I think. So, or even I don't know if I have black, but black would have been good too because that would have brought these colors out. But, you know, like I said, this is for demonstration purposes. So, I'm not good at choosing color schemes. I am horrible at it. So, I'm probably not going to need the X-Acto knife. So, looks like something got on it. I don't know. Let's cut this. Ugh, stuck to the cutting board. Alright. Hope you guys can see me okay. Well, that you probably didn't. Okay. So, let's fold this one over as well. And I did forget to grab one thing, and I will, when it comes time to grabbing it, I'll just pause real quick and go grab it. Alright. Now we'll do the sides. Alright, got this. Oh, this is so sticky. Piece off, okay. So this isn't Duct Tape brand duct tape. So I'm not sure where I got it. It's not Dollar Tree because their rolls are a lot thinner. This is the one where you got to be a little bit more precise when laying it down, since you're trying to get it up to the edge. There we go. I don't want any of that white showing through. Eh. Alright, I'm going to just fast forward my placement of these two side pieces, and then I will come back with you in a moment. Okay, so I'm going to just fold this down. I did use my X-Acto knife after all, so that, because I could see a little bit of white showed here, because I just was not able to get it perfect. So on this side, and let me fold it over real quick, I got to the point where it was the end, and I used the X-Acto knife to trim the spot after I had gotten it down, so that it's perfectly up against the edge now. You can't really see where the seam is. This one I didn't do as good of a job. Well, yeah. Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of, it's at the bottom corner. I'll put my thumb over it. But if you're careful, you can use the X-Acto knife to trim where you need it to be. Use at your own risk. That's all I have to say. Alright, now we are going to use this color. I think that actually looks pretty good, framed like that. If that's all I was going to do. Of course, I would have done it better all the way to the edges, but I knew I was putting another color on, so I didn't go all that way. So now, this is where measuring would come in handy. So let's see. Let's go by centimeters. This is 3. Oh gosh, 3.1. So if I were to do halfway, it'd be 1.55. And I can't even see 1.55 on here. So let's go back to inches. So it's 1.25 inches. So 1/2 inch plus 1/8 of an inch. So 5/8. So that is 4. So right. Okay, that's 4. So 5/8 would be right here. So that would be halfway. You know what? I'm going to just grab my ruler. So maybe you need a ruler too, not just the measuring tape. And I'm going to take a spot that I like. Gonna make sure it's even down here at the bottom. And I'm going to take my fine line marker and I'm just going to mark it. So now I know that this is let's see, there are 3/4 of an inch. Yep, so I will go in 3/4 of an inch on each side and measure it. That's just really hard. Here, let's do it like this. Where was the 3/4 of an inch? The outside part or the inside part? Here, let's just measure how far it is from the edge to there. It is about 1/2 inch between, 4. Okay. Hold on, I gotta do some math, so I'll be right back. Okay, I use centimeters, and it turns out to be 1.1 centimeters. It's actually not because the 0 is right here, but I'm just putting the ruler as flat up against the edge as possible. So we are going to make a 1.1 centimeter mark right here, and then line this up right here with that. I know it's not here. I'll have to do it. Go down here and do it too, so they can line up with each other. Okay, so 1.1 mark right there, and then we'll do them down here. A little harder because there's no gems down at the bottom. All right, so now I will make a line. Line it up like so. And this is just a guide. It's not to be, like I said, I'm not going to be perfect. This is just to get a general sense of where it's going to lay. Does framing intimidate you like it does me? Because I don't know. I mean, I don't want to mess something up. I don't want to tell somebody something and then they mess it up and then get mad at me for telling them the wrong thing or suggesting it to them. You know what I mean? I mean, this is just not my I'm not an expert in this. This is not my best category. So I just hope somebody can be inspired. Let's put it that way. Be inspired by this to, you know, maybe take parts of it and get their own ideas, and maybe they can show me what they did or show other people, and just even if you get an idea based off of what I'm doing, that would be, you know, that would be a win in my book. Oh, whoops, I forgot to write the line. Okay, let's do this line. We are almost done, guys. I mean, if you saw this, you could see that I didn't hit the line perfectly. And I'm going to have to fix that one because it doesn't look good. But generally, it doesn't matter. But that's almost perfect. This one came off quite a bit. So I'm going to try and fix it so that it is a little bit more even. And yeah, it didn't do any good. But anyway, I'm not good at measuring. Drop my pen lid. Okay. Now we will get the duct tape. Now I'm going to do the sides first so that the tops will overlap the sides. And we'll start on this end here. All right. And I'm going to leave a little extra so that it can hang over and be secure. See, I'm going right over the mark so it doesn't show. I'm going to cut a rubber band on it. Cut that off. Let's see if I can remember how to miter these corners. First, you're going to pull it as hard as you can so it's not going to be loose. Push it down on the part that's actually going to stay. And then, let's see, what did I do before? I don't want the front to look funky, so... Alright, we're going to cut it here, just the one piece. So you've got a flap like this. And then try to remember, bear with me, because I made it look really good last time. I just don't remember how. Because I don't want it going around the front. You're going to want to cut off part of this, not all of it, off the top piece. Because oh Lord, I don't want to do this wrong. How did I do it? I just had it envisioned. Okay, here's what I do. You fold this piece down, the small piece that you have here. Right there. You're going to trim a little bit like that. just so you've got a folded over piece, because we want this corner to look professional. You just want a little piece of it right there, folded over, and then you're going to fold this over in the back. If you just go straight across, you're going to get a big bumpy thing, and I kind of go diagonally and then lay it down. So now the other piece is going to go over this. So that didn't really matter. I'm thinking I need to do that again once we did the other layer on. So, oh, this one got kind of mangled because I wasn't paying attention to it, and it's all stuck to each other. See, guys, I'm not a professional. Let me get this unstuck so I can at least lay it down a little bit. So on the bottom layer, you're not going to need to do really anything, because it doesn't need to look fancy, because it's going to be covered up with the next, with the layer, the side layer, the top layer, the top and the bottom piece that's going to go on top of it. Okay, this is just totally messed up, but good thing it's, because I can't fix it. It's too stuck together, so I'm going to just cut it off. Yeah, I don't want that there at all. It's too bumpy. And this piece is going to cover it up, so I don't want it making it really thick and funny looking. So I'm going to actually pull it back to make sure these bumps aren't going to show. So there we go. Wait, nope, don't want to fold it over the front. But like I said, it actually doesn't matter. So I am going to fold that over to the front just to secure it. Again, the only reason I'm doing that is because hot camera. Okay, camera got hot again, so I had to wait a little bit to continue. But what I was saying is this will be covered up, so this will be fine the way I have it. So let's get this next side done. And I really don't need to go over the edge. I don't know what I was thinking when I did the other one. The other side, it's not necessary to go over the edge since it will be covered. Just want to make sure I'm getting this as even as possible. Cover up that black line. This does wipe off very easily. That's why I'm being careful. So if I did miss part of the line, I could just wipe it off. I put all my cutting implements away. And I went and got the thing that I forgot while I was waiting, and I had lunch. Started editing another video, so I made use of my time. You know how hard it is to want to get a video finished, but you can't because your phone is hot and you have to sit and wait. You got thoughts in your head you want to speak and say, but you don't want to forget them. Just so you can get back to finishing. And hope you don't forget by the time you get back, or where you left off. There we go. Okay. So the sides are done. So far, I think it looks pretty good. So let's do the bottom and the top and make sure we get the corners cut properly. So we will go over a bit. So let's just do a little bit here. All right. Okay. I'm not getting it perfect over the line. The glare from the light doesn't help with seeing, being able to see where I'm going. I just press it down a little bit at a time when I can see that I've got it on the line. And there we go. Let's cut this off. Okay. So another option, which would probably be better, is to, instead of folding this under first, is to fold this part first. So that we know that this is going to fold under, and it won't be, the excess won't be going over the top at all. All right. Now, this is how I did it before, yeah. So I'm going to cut this here so that it's one strip. Okay, so there, I cut it like that. I folded this under, I folded this under, and then I clipped it so that when it lays down flat, we can get it a better, and it already stuck to the corner down here. So I gotta get that clipped and pulled off before, because this duct tape is extremely strong. Oh my gosh, look at that. Alright, so I'm gonna pull this forward and down. That might be wrong too. I don't know. Let's figure it out though, because now this would normally go this way. We don't want that though. So let's bring it in. So that cut wasn't necessary. So that we're not having a raw edge here. You don't want to cut it all the way off because you want to be able to have a smooth edge. So we will cut it, fold it in like that, lay it down. Now we still got a little wingding hanging off right here. Maybe we could fold it in again. I think that looks better. It's a little bumpy though. Might cut that first piece off and then fold it under. Yeah, let's cut off this corner here. And we still have enough to fold under so that the edge is protected. There we go. Not a bunch of, it's not real thick there. And it looks pretty good. Look at that. Let's see if I can remember how to do that on this side. I mangled it again. Oh, there we go. Alright. So, let's pull it up. Tuck it under. I'm going to cut it off right here. And then tuck it and lay it down. You're going to pull a little bit so that you can have the tightness. And if you want, put another piece of tape over there to secure it if you don't feel like it's secure enough. But I think it'll be fine. This is, after all, the back of it. Not going to be seen. But that's nice and tight. Alright, let's do the last side and we will be done. edge. Place it down and get it as straight as possible. Now I'll just wipe it off with my finger because some of this pen that I'm using is smudged. But like I said, it is not permanent. So you may not want to use Sharpie to do this, because I do not know how Sharpie works on duct tape, how easy it is to get it off. So I would definitely use something that wipes off easy. Alright. Extend it a little bit. Cut that off. Alright. Let's see if I can remember what we did on the other side. We folded it in. Yeah, we don't need to cut it. So we're folding it in. I know I'm off the screen. I'll do it like this. Here we go. Folding it inward. Cut it at an angle without turning your tape onto each other. Because remember, you want something on the edge. You still want that so that you can, so it doesn't have that raw edge. I'll cut this one. This one didn't have as much. Alright. Now you'd think we could just lay it down like this, but it leaves for, I mean, you could do that, but just to be fancy, you know, I like to do my corners mitered, and that's why I go inward. There's that corner, and then over here I'm going to fold it in a little bit, miter it, and then lay it all down. Stretch it pull it as you're doing it to stretch to make it tight. There. You guys, it's done. What do you think? I think the color choices were great. I think that it's not obvious that it's duct tape. In addition, this could be put on the wall directly like this, or you could actually put it in a frame. So in that kind of instance, you would measure your foam board for the shape of the frame you want. So this leaves for endless possibilities for framing, because you can get a frame that's larger, but remember, you need to have excess of the actual diamond painting. You need to leave some of the border on it so that you can attach your duct tape or ribbon or whatever it is you're using for the decoration of the edges. And you could just make it bigger. You could leave more of the foam board to make a larger section, but this is what I had to work with, and like I said, this is my first time doing it. I've seen it, but I think this border actually goes really well with this painting. I'm happy. I mean, I think it would have been cool if this was white, but like I said, I don't have white, so there we have it. What I'm going to use to mount this, because I don't want to use a frame for this. I have frames set for other things. I picked these up to mount my doorbell, because we bought just an electric doorbell that has a battery in it, because we don't have a doorbell in our house. And then you plug in the unit in the house, wherever the speaker unit, it goes in the house wherever you want to be able to hear the doorbell. And so I bought these mounting squares. They hold up to 1 pound, and this is definitely not 1 pound. So I'm going to just put a couple of them on the back. I just need to put them at the top, and then I will put them on the wall. But they're like foam. They're like a... Here, I'll show you. Yeah, it's like foam with sticky on it. So I will just put those right on the corners here. I'll use 2 of them. And this comes in a pack of 16. And when I bought them, I had no idea I'd be wanting to use them to put on my wall, diamond paintings. So I'm super excited about this. I think I'm going to put it here in my craft room somewhere, and I will take a picture of it once it's on the wall, and I will post it at the end of this video. So I hope this helped somebody, and I hope, you know, somebody got some use out of it. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with other people you know that may want to know how to frame their diamond paintings as an idea. What to do for very, very inexpensively, especially if it's something that you don't need to worry about putting it in a frame, or you're not able to afford to frame it. I mean, that's the main reason why I did these, is because I know how expensive frames are. I can't afford them. I mean, some of them are so expensive that it's just ridiculous if you want a nice frame. This isn't something I really wanted to put money into for a nice frame, but I think this is a nice frame. Made by me. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, leave them down below in the comment section down here. I will have a link for all the products that I used today, and well, I'll see if I can find the duct tape. But as far as the mounting squares and the craft glue and, you know, just things like that, I'll leave you links for that if you're wondering. I can't give you a link to this diamond painting because I have no idea. This was my very first one I ever ordered, and I don't even remember the login for the account that I had used when I ordered it, because I tried activating it when I started ordering from AliExpress again. But it's a pretty popular one. I've seen it a lot on Wish. I've seen it on AliExpress. I'm sure, just do a search for wolf and it'll, or purple wolf, and I'm sure it'll show up somewhere. So please, if you have not already, subscribed if you want to see more of my videos. And if you want to be notified when they are posted, click the bell right next to the notification button after you click subscribe. So for now, I will let you go, and I will see you in my next video. Have fun diamond painting, and thank you very much for watching.